Manza Media.
Hello all you out there in YouTube land, and welcome back to another program. My name is Zachary, and today I'm finally going to be talking SMiLE, a significant piece of work and music. It has indeed become a fall favorite of mine, a cherished October favorite, the most anticipated album in rock and roll history. Two 180-gram vinyl LPs in a gatefold package, and contains full SMiLE album and sessions, liner notes by Brian Wilson, and a lyric sheet. Let me take this out so I can display it. Now, I've been lucky with my Beach Boys stuff. I never have to go to an online source to pick it up. I always seem to find the stuff in stores, in local record stores, and I am so grateful of that. This I found in Cape Cod. I'll never forget, I found it at Spinnaker Records in Hyannis. If you live in Cape Cod, check out Spinnaker Records. They have some stuff you wouldn't imagine ever finding and picking up. This is so hard to find in like an actual brick and mortar location, and to be able to find that only 2 or so years ago, I was stunned, happy, and honored to finally pick it up and give it a spin. It's got a lot to it. I'm going to go all throughout the history of this album in a few moments, but first I just want to say you do not have to get the big box set. This is all cut out. The storefront is hollow, and it's almost like a shadow box piece of artwork for the cover, and it's got way more material and way more covers, a lot more. I believe there's a book and all sorts of other sorts of memorabilia from the Beach Boys. I have to tell you, this pressing is all you need. And in all honesty, I don't consider it a compilation. I know that in the fine print on the bottom it is considered a compilation. I know it's considered a compilation, but to me it is not. I don't listen to it as a compilation, and I don't consider it in any way, shape, or form a compilation. I listen to the whole thing from beginning to end, and it saves my soul every time I listen to it. Just as Brian says in that little write-up, he says music is, music saves your soul, and a smile can save everything, and this music certainly makes me smile in any occasion. I love it so much. I love this album, and it's number 2. My number 1 album, I've decided recently, is Pet Sounds, but runner-up is always going to be SMiLE. They're two completely different pieces of music. This one pushes the creative envelope tenfold. Absolutely. All the pressures of life and Brian's state of mind in that time in 1965, 66, 67 was really taking a toll, and he had to shelf the work and abandon it, and said, we are not completing SMiLE. He couldn't handle the record company going down his back, the anticipation. Everybody it had been slated for 67 by Capitol to come out. Everyone had been hearing about it. What's this going to be like? And the pressure of that, he sort of buckled under. He was around 26, 25 years old at the time. You have to think that something else, some other source, was helping him, guiding him along, and he believes that it was a gospel to spread joy through music, through records, through SMiLE, from God. And he believed this was a teenage symphony to God, and rightfully so, with it opening up with the song Our Prayer. Something to pray to, and something to really set the stage as to what this miraculous album is going to be. If you just let it play through, let it wash over you. By now I've listened to it in countless situations. I listen to it on the golf course, in the house, while I'm working, in the car, doing dishes. I've listened to a million times, and every time I hear something new pops out at me, whether it be a production element, a lyric, the way things are sung, just everything. It's a different experience every time. I feel the same way about Pet Sounds, and that's how you know it's a favorite album of yours. If you keep hearing new things and enjoying every single bit of it, soaking it in like a sponge. I'm a sponge with this album. This is psychedelic in a grounded Americana sense. This has a million different bits of vocal tracks and vocal arrangements. If you love good vibrations, every song is good vibrations. Every song is that good. And every song has the same amount of creativity put into sections, like an opera, like a rock opera is what SMiLE is. When you hear that shrill of the French horn after the 16 bars at the end of Heroes and Villains, it sets the stage for the rest of this thing, that you know you're in for a journey as a bicycle rider rides from all the way across the country to California, where we end with good vibrations. And this is a journey that the person has all through the hills of America, and the mountains and the deserts, and the history that are in those hills, the ground, that are in the ground, the history from the Native Americans that our civilization took from them, all that kind of stuff. You know, at the time we were talking about riots and things in '65 and you know, the assassination of Kennedy and all that stuff. Songs about the relief that the country wanted and needed from war. And Brian Wilson comes out here with the Beach Boys and is singing about the rich history and the railroads and the horse farms. This is why it becomes a fall album for me. It's just got that rich history, that Americana country fair vibe. Not to say that this music is country by any means. It's pop, baroque, syrupy goodness drenched in a lot of different production elements mixed together with that wall of sound vibe. It's still got that Phil Spector Wrecking Crew vibe that Pet Sounds had, but it's brought to a way out of this world level. You have to listen to it to believe this, and I'm not going to force it down your throat. I'm putting this in your ear as something to check out and listen to. If you like history, if you like songs that are kind of out there, really kind of getting trippy, this was supposed to be the predecessor to Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and the Beatles and the Beach Boys were in a release race, and that, with Brian's state of mind at the time, you know, certain kind of drugs that were inhibiting things. And the band, pushback from the band to not do this music. This is music that is way too out there. Don't mess with what we've been doing, Brian. All this kind of stuff got the better of him, and it trickled on through the early 70s. And we would then hear here and there tracks put on albums like 2020 and albums like Surf's Up, where they would put, you know, one or two little pieces of SMiLE material at the very end or in the middle somewhere, like Cool Cool Water and Surf's Up. But that was not enough for fans. Fans would put together their own kind of compilations of the album from different sections of albums and make their own homemade SMiLE. Finally, all coming to a head in 1993, the year I was born. Brian decided to put all the SMiLE session tracks, most of them, the cornerstones like Cabin Essence, Surf's Up, Good Vibrations, Heroes and Villains, all that great stuff was on the 1993 Pet Sounds box set. And that's where everyone was able to finally hear the stuff. So the demand from that grew and grew. His touring group and assistant had helped him create the order in which the tracks would go for SMiLE. And this is where Brian thought the SMiLE train had come to an end. That in 2004 we'd play it live and that would be it. But no, they played it live, he got up there, he got the nerve up to do it, face SMiLE head on, and give it to the public, make everyone else smile in that audience. And did they ever? So much so that fans said, I want to hear the original stuff. Give me the original stuff. More than just that box set in 1993. You know, I want to hear the Beach Boys blend back in 1967. So that's why we have this today. And that was not the end of the SMiLE Sessions chapter in 2004, because we now have this 6 years later. In 2011, this came out, the SMiLE Sessions box set and SMiLE Sessions 2-disc double LP. Better than the Feel Flows 2-disc double LP, because it covers way more. It covers everything. And it gives you a great picture booklet. It's got everything. Let's take a look at this. Thank you, folks, for tuning into this episode. If you do feel so inclined as to follow me on social media, you may gladly do so at Manza Media Art and Manza Media on every other platform. If you like prints, I've got an Etsy shop where you can see some of my original artwork and fan artwork. I'll catch you folks on the next episode of Manza Media.